After the Grand Prix 2022, now there has been a shuffling pack for 2023. As huge movement of race drivers, as some reserves are set up and some become reserves, and others swap teams altogether. These big moves turned out the next season more enchanting than the previous season. What are the best moves done in this season? And what teams are now expected to hold their positions after that huge driver swap? If you are thinking the same, don't go anywhere. In today's video, we are going to talk about all those concerns. Let's first talk about the big replacements of team bosses. There are 5 swappings according to F1 TV's headlines. At first, I will break through the replacements of Vasseur with Binotto at Ferrari. After much speculation about his role, Mattia Binotto made a decisive move in November by stepping down as the team principal of Ferrari, thus creating a vacancy in the esteemed position. The Scuderia wasted no time in searching for a suitable replacement and eventually found their candidate just a few steps away in the Alfa Romeo pit. The opportunity to take the helm at Ferrari was extended to Frédéric Vasseur, a talented Frenchman who now has the chance to lead the iconic team forward. Next is the appointment of Seidl CEO by Sauber. The Sauber Gathering, which manages the Alfa Romeo F1 team, promptly appointed Andreas Seidl, the former head of the McLaren Group, as their new president. Seidl has a strong affiliation with Audi, who will be joining Sauber as an engine supplier in 2026. He has achieved multiple victories at the Le Mans 24 Hours race with Porsche, both of which are under the ownership of the Volkswagen Group. Sauber Group Managing Director Alessandro Alani Bravi, who has been assigned the additional role of team representative for the 2023 F1 campaign, will provide assistance to Seidl in overseeing the team this year. On the other side, there is the promotion of Stella. McLaren may have been keeping an eye out for another explorer on the pit wall based on Seidl's takeoff. However, unlike other competitors, the Woking-based business made the decision to seek employees internally, with President Zach Earthy-Color choosing to promote leader overseer of hustling Andrea Stella to the position of company head. It was announced in December that Jost Capito would step down from his position as group head of Williams following 2 seasons of being responsible for the Woods Group. This decision came after a season in which Williams finished in the second half of the title standings with 8 positions. Similarly, Capito was FX de Maison, the specialized chef he had acquired and remained close by Williams. A week and a half after the event, Williams announced that James Vowles, who was previously the technique boss for Mercedes, would be taken over as their new group head. On February 20th, Vowles, who has been a part of 9 Big Showdown winning seasons with Sturdiness GP and Mercedes, will begin his endeavor to try to get Williams back up the request. Vowles has been a part of 9 Big Showdown winning seasons. It sounds like the Vowles is now going again to smash the next seasons. But will you think that William will Vowles really accept the Williams offer? After the swappings of the team bosses, there are much more movements in the drivers' shuffling.
Too quick, but he had to be going down the escape road.
Struggling. De Vries is struggling. He outbreaks himself.
And then he was never going to make that.
Oh my god.
As Fernando Alonso drives in green instead of blue, the first day of Equation 1's meaningless season was the primary day of the late spring break in the previous year. On that day, Fernando Alonso announced that he would leave Elevated for Aston Martin to replace Sebastian Vettel, who had recently announced that he was quitting the game. Equation 1's senseless season began in what will be Alonso's 20th season of Formula 1 competition. The current holder of the Double Cross title is expected to partner with the Spearwalk team this year. And next, Oscar Piastri is the latest driver to decide to leave Elevated. The Australian driver took the petulant decision to join McLaren, which competes against Elevated for the position of P4 in the title. Both McLaren and Elevated guarantee that they reserve the options to Piastri's administrations, which forced the F1 Agreement Acknowledgement Board to decide. Ultimately, the decision favored McLaren, meaning the previous F3 and F2 winners will race in papaya tones alongside Lando Norris this season. Pierre Gasly replaces Alonso and Piastri. Because Piastri followed Alonso out the exit door, Hyde tried to acquire Pierre Gasly's administrative responsibilities for the 2023 season from AlphaTauri and Red Bull. Gasly marked a long-term agreement to accomplish his lifelong adversary Esteban Ocon this season as a result of an arrangement that was formed, which meant that 2 French drivers would be racing for the French group. The AlphaTauri team has decided to give Nick de Vries a full-time race seat. There was an exclusive somebody producing disruptions with flawless timing to seize the opportunity Gasly's flight created at AlphaTauri. Nick de Vries, a Mercedes reserve driver, made several FP1 appearances for different teams in 2022. Afterward, he impressed the crowd with a strong P9 finish in his first ever Grand Prix, while subbing for Williams' Alex Albon at the Italian Grand Prix. But what do you think Nick de Vries' goal is for this season? Yes, the Dutchman enjoyed an unexpected level of popularity and quickly accomplished his goal of finishing the race close to Yuki Tsunoda at AlphaTauri this year. Whoa! Here's the cheer moment for Ricciardo fans. Ricciardo is back with his former team Red Bull. The legendary Hulk has re-emerged. Nico Hülkenberg will drive for Haas full-time in 2023, following a 3-year absence from the Formula 1 grid as a reserve driver. During that period, the German driver participated in 4 races as a super sub for Hustling Point and Aston Martin. This year, he will assist his former rival Kevin Magnussen as the American company decided not to broaden Mick Schumacher's deal with them. But wait, what was Schumacher's agreement with Haas? Schumacher will serve in a reserve capacity for Mercedes. The fact that Schumacher's agreement with Haas was not extended when the team had the option to do so suggested that the Recipe 2 winner would be without a race spot for the 2023 season. In any event, Schumacher will be visible about the enclosure this year as he conducts safe driver requirements for Mercedes while mapping his road return to a full-time race seat. In any case, he will be seen around the enclosure this year. And here Williams is showing support for one of their own. Because Logan Sargent finished 4th place in his rookie mission in Recipe 2 during the previous season, Nicholas Latifi will be replaced by him at Williams this year. The last driver for the Williams Foundation took part in 4 FP1 races for the Woods outfit in 2022. These races were placed in Austin, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. He will become the first American driver to compete in the Formula 1 Championship since Alexander Rossi in 2015. So the swappings of drivers and other positions in teams both have new strategic plans and different expectations from the drivers. Some are promoted, altered, and reserved for the racing teams. Do you think that it will be proved best in terms of swappings for the team of the upcoming season? Do you have any expectations or comments? Share your views in the comments and subscribe to the channel to watch what's even juicier coming next in the next F1 season.